Welcome to FDS MTG News for January 31st, 2023. It looks like we're getting a new card type. On January 17th, Wizards revealed the card Atraxa, Grand Unifier. It's 3 and a green, white, blue, and black for a 7/7 legendary creature Phyrexian Angel. It has Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. When Atraxa Grand Unifier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And on the card, in reminder text, it has a card type we've never seen before. Battle. And since there weren't any battle cards among the spoiled rares, it's pretty safe to say that the battle card type is being saved for March the Machines. Some are speculating that this might be related to the abandoned War of the Spark mechanic Skirmish, where a minigame is played and the winner gets a bonus of some kind. It was ultimately scrapped due to not making sense within the flavor of War, and also being a complicated mechanic to balance. But we're not sure if this is an upgraded version of Skirmish or an entirely different mechanic. We'll just have to wait and see. So it looks like Tarmogoyf might be getting a little bigger. Flashback and Affinity are now deciduous keywords. What does that mean? Well, there are evergreen keywords like Flying and Haste, and then there are deciduous keywords. Keywords that show up often, but not necessarily in every set. With the release of Phyrexia All Will Be One, Flashback and Affinity will be added to the deciduous list, so we're going to be seeing it a lot more often. Tribal is still a card type, as confirmed by Jess Dunks, the current rules manager for Magic the Gathering. There was a question as to whether Tribal was still a card type because it wasn't included in the reminder text for the new card Atraxa Grand Unifier. So it's true, Goyf can get bigger now. Now, whether that makes it competitively playable, that's up to the internet to debate. The Commander Rules Committee released their quarterly rules update, and there are no changes. Poison isn't getting touched, despite Sheldon's article for Star City Games back in December. Big Mommy Norn isn't getting a pre-ban, and Dockside lives to extort another day. Do you frequent the Magic the Gathering subreddit? If so, have you checked your flare recently? Or better yet, have you checked to see if you have any new metallic appendages that have teeth for some reason? Why? Because, well, you might be complete. Apparently, the mods over at the main Magic the Gathering subreddit, Magic TCG, decided to have a little fun and randomly complete various users. Interestingly, the posts talking about the completion seems to have the most completed members. Looks like Hasbro is having a rough time financially. And by rough time, I mean still making more money than God while simultaneously alienating two separate but tangentially related player bases. I'm of course talking about the Magic 30 incident and the D&D OGL situation. But since they didn't make as much money as expected, it looks like around 1,000 Hasbro employees will be given the opportunity to self-reflect on their life's choices when they are laid off. All this so stockholders don't lose too much money. Anyone else feel like Cynthia Williams, the head of Wizards, and Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro, are having a bit of a rough start? I mean, they entered their roles when Hasbro, and Wizards specifically, were at their peak, and now they are not. The question remains, was this an inevitability considering outer market forces, or was this avoidable? TCGPlayer Employees are trying to unionize, and doing so in the wake of the company being purchased by eBay last year. Card Kingdom, the largest competitor to TCGPlayer in the space, unionized back in July of 2022, according to thegamer.com. According to this Twitter account, the CWA, an organization dedicated to helping tech employees form and maintain unions, allegedly TCGPlayer management has been unlawfully surveilling employees and noting those who show support for the union. This is still a developing story. This Week in Magic. Yeah, we're starting a new weekly series where I find an interesting event that occurred on this date or this week so many years ago to fill out the time. Since this segment requires actual research on my part, I give it 3 to 4 weeks before I abandon it, but let's find out together. Anyway, this week in Magic history, we get to revisit the amazing set of Gatecrash. This set, the second in a 3-set block of Return to Ravnica, released in 2013 on February 1st, and gave us some from Shockland reprints, Cryptghast, Lord of the Void, and Aurelia the War Leader, which I just discovered is only $10 now. So if you need one, go get one because it was $30 only a few months ago. This is also the set where we first got a Domri Rad card. The story of Gatecrash had us follow Jace as he tries to retreat from the impending guild war, only to be sucked in and have to deal with the implicit maze. At least, that's what the MTG wiki says. If you want to know more, you can check out the ebook that accompanied the set, Gatecrash the Secretist Part 2. But maybe you should check out the Secretist Part 1, which I'm guessing came out with the Return to Ravnica set and is probably called Return to Ravnica the Secretist Part 1. That's what it's called, I checked. So yeah, Gatecrash came out 10 years ago. That's somewhat unsettling to me. That's it. I don't know how to end this segment. That about does it for today. Like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok and Twitter, and check out my Patreon. And have a wonderful day. And click on stuff. On January 17th, Wizards revealed the card Atraxer. Atraxer? Or better yet, have you checked to see if you have any new... And by rough time, I mean still making more money than God while simultaneously... TCGPlayer Employees are... until the TCGPlayer Union is recognized by... Is recognized? Wrong. This is also the set. This is also the set where wow, apparently every lisp that exists has decided to attack my face right now. This show is part of the CIP network, inspiring creativity, one episode at a time.